my name's Ercy and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the latest Disney movie, Encanto, and how it embodies the magic realism genre of literature. I know this is another video that's a little different from what I've been doing. I got different angles going on, I'm testing some stuff out, but I just wanted to do this video. I've been really thinking about doing something like this ever since I saw the movie, and I'm just really excited to get all of this out of my head and into the world. So if you are ready for a movie breakdown, genre analysis, and some recommendations in said genre, then I hope you stick around. Okay, so Encanto is the 60th animated movie by Disney, and it was released on November 24th, 2021. It takes place in the country of Colombia, specifically inspired by the Cocora Valley in the Andean Mountains. So I've never personally been to Colombia. I would like to go, but I have a few friends that are from Colombia, and they're awesome, fun people, wonderful, and they all always talk about how beautiful their country is. But this film just recently won the Golden Globe for Best Animated Feature Film in this past award season, or in this new award season, I guess. And I think that's amazing. It's so well deserved. This movie is just so great. But what is this actually about? So this movie is about the magical family, the Madrigals, and they live in the hidden mountains of Colombia in an enchanted place called the Encanto. A miracle transpired out of tragedy. The magic of that miracle has blessed the family members with these unique abilities or quirks or powers, except for Mirabel. But she may be the family's last hope when the magic of the Encanto is in danger. So I absolutely love this movie. My husband loved this movie. My daughter loves this movie. We've seen it like 20 times. Like, obviously not sitting in front of it watching it like 20 times, but you know, my daughter wants to watch it whenever she's doing some activities and stuff. So we'll just put it in the background. But we've seen this a number of times already because my family, we're all a huge fan of this movie. It's great. The songs are constantly stuck in our heads. We are constantly singing the Bruno song. We don't talk about Bruno, no. The movie is fun, it's magical, and it has such a beautiful message at the end of the day. Like I said, there's so many reasons to love this film. For one, the themes. This movie is about family. It is about hope. It is about embracing the complexity of the individual while coming together through love to make a family. But it's also about familial expectations, burden, blame, how it feels to be overlooked, undervalued, misunderstood, kind of like teachers during the COVID pandemic. But what we also love, like my husband and I were discussing this, is just how diverse the cast is, both on screen and off screen. We see representations of Afro-Latinos, which is awesome. I love that. I feel like this right here is a real true representation of what Latino culture really is. So many different skin tones and complexions and hair textures and eye colors. Like, it's just beautiful. It's so complex. It goes right back to the history of South America and the Caribbean and how just diverse everyone is from those regions. And I feel like this is a really great representation of that on film, and that's really great for kids to see because it's not just monochromatic. It's very diverse, it's very colorful, and that's what it is for Latinos, you know? The Colombian music representation in this is really outstanding as well. I feel like Lin-Manuel Miranda did an amazing job composing these songs. I think he said in an interview, his job was pretty much to vocalize or musicalize the emotional breakthroughs of these characters, and I really feel like he did that. He did such an amazing job doing that because each of the songs, you really get to see this growth in the character through a musical, you know, and it's really great and super impactful. And I really love the message that we see through music in this film, and especially just using that fun Colombian music vibes that we get in all of these songs. It's really phenomenal. I think it's so great. Like, listening to the songs of this just remind me of my childhood, just listening to Latino music all the time. We got some cumbia, we got some like Spanish rock with Isabella's song, like really great inspirations behind these numbers. And I think they're just phenomenal. I think they're so great. They're so catchy too. The We Don't Talk About Bruno song is so good. Like, we just randomly start singing it all the time. It has claimed a permanent spot in our brain. And the other songs are equally amazing, fun, emotional, so great. But I think above all is just how relatable this movie feels. The pressures of a strong matriarch on the family. I feel like the members of the family are really trying to become individuals under this pressure and this burden from the matriarch and the town, and it's just so relatable. Like, I saw this matriarch in our family, this older woman who has been through it, and she's just gonna let the family members know, like, you need to pick up the slack, and like, what are you doing, what's going on, get it together, we don't expect this from you, kind of thing. So I really felt like the vibes of this was really relatable in terms of how the family members are reacting to Abuela Alma. So let's move on to the genre of this. I feel like it definitely represents the genre of magical realism. What is that? So magical realism, according to my Bedford glossary of critical and literary terms, it is a postmodernist innovation in the late 1940s. When applied to novels, the term magic realism refers to works characterized by a mixture of credible and utterly fantastic elements, realistic details, esoteric knowledge, fairy tales, myths, and dreams are intertwined in a complex, even tangled plot that often involves abrupt chronological shifts. So to put it plainly, it's real life with little sprinkles of magic throughout. The magic is used to enhance the storyline, but it's not necessarily the main focus of the story. So in this case, we have this family in Colombia. Most of the members have these magical abilities or these gifts, and the gifts are used to help the town. I really feel like this is a really great representation of this genre, because even though on the surface level we see the magic is in danger and sort of what's at stake here, it's the familial bonds that are truly what's in danger in this movie. Only through being there for one another and trying to understand one another does the magic become stronger. When the characters try to be something they're not, or necessarily can't be, as in expectations from Abuela or from the town, that's when the magic becomes weak. But let's not completely paint Abuela Alma as a villain, because I don't think she is. She also falls victim to these expectations from the town as this sort of matriarch, as a single mother after her husband was murdered. But she sort of becomes blinded by this role, and her grief falls victim to these expectations from the town, or what she thinks that she should be. She doesn't seem to have any magical abilities, but she is sort of the glue for this family, and it's what's holding the family together. But she is confused by her role as well. But back to magical realism, I have a big list here of recommendations for you in the genre. That way you can explore other titles, because I really, really like this genre as far as having this very light element of fantasy, but it's the character growth and real life part of it that is what drives the story. So let's start with the books, because that's what this channel is mostly about. I think one of the most famous examples of magic realism that you're going to find is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This work also follows a family. It's multi-generational. It's magical, but not really. Like, we get this history of Latin America through the eyes of this one family, and I feel like this work really embodies the genre itself. And I feel like it's always the first one that pops up whenever you look up magic realism. I haven't read this in a while. I think I read this when I was like 20. But it's been a while. I'm due for a reread on this one. Two more works from Marquez that are pretty interesting. It's Love in a Time of Cholera. This is sort of a romance, historical fiction kind of story, but definitely magical realism, as well as Chronicle of a Death Foretold. This one's a little novela, so it's a lot shorter, but still very, very interesting. I haven't read this in a while either. I need to reread this one. I actually haven't read this one, but I've seen the film for it like a while ago, and I really loved it. It's such a weird film, but I really like this story anyways. So I need to read the book. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. But definitely works by Jorge Luis Borges, Isabel Allende, definitely qualify. She's actually coming out with a new book this year. I don't know if it just came out, but it's called Violeta. That one sounds really good. I think it's like it follows her through her life, but also looking at the history of the nation that she's in. I haven't really read too much into it, but it sounds really interesting, so I'm going to check that one out. Like Water for Chocolate is another great example of magical realism. I think it's like the second one that pops up whenever you look up magical realism. It's by Laura Esquivel. I really wouldn't be surprised if the character in this book inspired the powers of Julieta, that's Mirabel's mom, and her power is to heal people through food that she cooks. In this book, Tita is the main character, and she infuses her emotions into the food that she cooks. Another one that would relate to that theme, that's a more modern example, this is a young adult book by Elizabeth Acevedo, With the Fire on High. Sort of the same thing, like her food is very impactful and you feel emotions through the things that she's cooking. So I really feel like those three kind of go together, one little mesh of magic realism awesomeness. But more book recommendations, definitely Beloved by Toni Morrison falls under this category. Works by Haruki Murakami definitely fall under magical realism. Some newer examples of magical realism, I definitely want to get my hands on this one. A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. That one just recently came out. The Perishing by Natasha Dion. This is another one that just recently came out as well. This would definitely fall under magic realism. Similar to that one with this idea of immortality, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab would fall under this category. And definitely Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemor would fall under magic realism as well. So many great stories. I haven't actually read these three, but I definitely want to because they all sound amazing, and obviously I bought all three of them, so I need to read them. If you want more examples of magic realism but in film format, I definitely have a lot here for you guys. Luca is another animated film that would fall under this. Yesterday would fall under this category as well. That one's a fun movie. I really like Yesterday, especially because it's all Beatles songs. I mean, that's awesome. Christopher Robin would fall under this. Ted, another great example. Ted 1 and Ted 2. Black Swan. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I feel like that is a classic, great example of magic realism in film. With the main character aging backwards. Everything else in the story is real life. But then you got this one character that has something going on with him that is extraordinary, out of this world, unexplainable. And I think that's sort of the essence of what magic realism is. So I think The Curious Case of Benjamin Button is a really great example of this. The Green Mile is another one. Oh man, that movie made me cry so hard. So yeah, The Green Mile definitely is a great example of this. Big Fish is another one. Soul, another animated movie, would absolutely qualify under this. It's a little bit of a stretch because we have this other world that we're kind of going to, but it's based on mythology of afterlife or pre-life kind of thing. So it's using some of our mythology to help explain some that are unexplainable. It's still a really great movie. You should check out Soul. I really like Soul. I feel like another great example of this, or examples plural of this, would be like the Marvel movies, because we have these extraordinary individuals kind of placed in the real world. While some of them may be like aliens and stuff, we can argue that the Marvel characters, while it could be like science fiction / fantasy, they're all placed into the real world. Some of the older Captain America comics, we have Captain America going after Hitler and people in real life, in history, and interacting with people. So I really feel like that sort of qualifies under that umbrella term of magic realism. So I'm gonna stop here with the examples because I feel like there's just so many out there that is like understated magic realism, and I feel like you guys should just definitely check it out. If you know what the genre is, you're gonna see it a lot. So in case you couldn't tell already, I really love this movie. I think it's really great. I really enjoy the genre of magic realism. I think it's so much fun. I hope you all give this movie a chance, as well as some of these recommendations that I've listed here. Some of them I need to check out because I haven't read all of them. But I really do enjoy this genre, and I hope you guys do too. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this movie. And also let me know some of your favorites in the genre as well. I would love to get some recommendations from you guys from books that maybe I haven't heard of, or movies that I need to check out too. So I really love this genre, so I would welcome all of the recommendations that you guys are willing to give me. I would also really like to talk about fan theories about Encanto. Like, I have so many thoughts. Like, I could have gone on forever about this movie, just talking about specific details in this movie. Like, there's just so much in my head when it comes to this movie because I think it's so great. So if you just want to talk about the movie as well, just like different things that you want to talk about, like, I'm here for that. Like, my comment section is open to any and all comments for you guys to put down there. Also, let me know what you thought of this video. It's very different from the content that I've been putting out, but I really had a good time talking about this because this movie really made me think about the genre, but I had a lot of fun with this. Let me know if you would want to see more videos like this where I talk about a movie and books that is similar or related to it in the genre, or just similar to the movies, like the vibes. Just let me know what you guys think, because I had a lot of fun doing this one. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.